So welcome in, powerful women. We want to create a sacred space for you today on our Ignite Your Feminine open house. We've done this a few times, and we just love getting powerful women together to connect in new ways, and really consciously step into the feminine. And we know that you have some wisdom, and we want to support more balance by accessing our feminine energy consciously so that we can energize our visions this year for the year, step into our feminine and really have more flow in our lives and practice receiving and easily manifest. And overall, the real, the most important in my mind use of this time is to rejuvenate our soul and increase our joy. I like to say, up your joy. So I'll talk more about why joy is so important, but let's talk about the feminine first, if that's okay with you, because the feminine, everyone defines differently, and that's the beauty of it. So I thought I'd share with you the definition I have for feminine, and we're going to welcome in our latest gal who just joined us. Thank you for being here. We're so glad you're here. And Jackie's coming in. Okay, wonderful. And Vasi, I'm going to make you co-host so you can
Great.
also let people in. I think I
Thank
did
you.
that. A co-host, yes. Welcome, Jackie. We're so glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. We're just getting started. I was just about to share my definition of feminine energy. And I acknowledge that everybody has their own definition. And I invite you to consciously think about that because we'll be sharing about that. But here's mine. And I would say this is a part of mine. It's always evolving. But this is kind of a foundational piece. Feminine energy is like fire. I like to use an analogy. It can warm you up. It can create an intimate atmosphere. It creates light. It produces heat. It's a powerful energy. It's transformative. Whereas fire turns solid into liquid and raw into cook, the feminine is a state changing energy. Like fire, the divine feminine is sometimes it's associated with magic. I mean, like birthing a child can feel magical, right? Not that I've done that because I haven't, but when I've witnessed it, which I've had the honor to do, it is magical. And the feminine, like fire, turns dark spaces into light. It can be dangerous when misused. It can be mesmerizing and luring. It can burn, again, when misused, and destroy. But it also is sacred. It can be sacred and revered. When mishandled, misunderstood, it can rage out of control. When focused, honored, and given conscious attention and channeled appropriately, it can be a divine healing force and connecting force. So this to me is the power of the feminine. So with that, and we'll welcome in Matab, I thought I'd turn over to you, Vasi, to get everybody kind of centered. And now that we've kind of stepped into an idea of the feminine.
Yes. So thank you so much for that, Laura. Every time I hear it, I just so like I'm ablaze even more with that feminine. So welcome everyone. I'm just going to invite you to take a few deep breaths together, and I'm going to lead us through a centering, and you're welcome to close your eyes if you'd like. That helps you be more present to yourself. And so we're going to take a couple deep breaths here, whatever pace is comfortable for you. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And the next breath, I'm just going to invite you to breathe in just your most favorite color into the center of your being. And then just breathe out and shake out any distractions from your day, anything that's weighing heavily on you, if there's anything. And then I'm going to just ask you to place your awareness on your feet for a moment, feeling your feet on the ground, wherever they may be touching, maybe your heels, your toes. Just feel that connection with the earth below your feet. And then just place your awareness next in whatever part of your body, when you think of your feminine energy, wherever that place is within your body. Maybe it's your womb space, maybe it's your heart, maybe it's your throat, the top of your head, wherever that is, just place your awareness. And then I'm going to invite you to see a rose-colored light in that area of your body. And with each breath, that feminine energy is expanding and radiating and becoming more brilliant, more vibrant, more energized. And wherever that rose color ball is for you, whether you can see it or feel it or just sense it or just know it's there, imagine that it's growing. And as it grows with each breath, you're feeling what feminine energy is for you. You're feeling the power of it, the impact. And it's absolutely perfect for you. It has its own expression for you. In fact, that light might start to change from a rose color to something else for you as you breathe in and out. And as you connect with that feminine energy within you, imagine or see or sense that it's radiating out and it's connecting with each of us. And we're in a virtual circle in an energetic space of light, a golden light, a golden white light. And we're all beaming out this beautiful feminine energy to each other and around the circle. And as we do that, we're also receiving. So I invite you now to open to allowing and receiving feminine energy from each other in whatever way is in your highest good. So whatever the amount, the frequency, the pace. And so often we're on during our day on the go, and this is a chance to receive and recharge and replenish, just as you'll be doing in our time together today. So this is the start of that. And for a moment, just place your awareness back in your body and center in and just notice yourself. Just notice your breath. Notice your feet on the ground. And if you haven't already, go ahead and you can set an intention for what you'd like to receive today from this time. You can do that silently to yourself. We heard Laura speak the intentions at the beginning, and so perhaps there was an intention there that you specifically felt connected to. And then go ahead and place your hand on your heart and just help to anchor that intention in that you just set for yourself. And then maybe open your hand, palm up, and just release that intention. And be open to receiving whatever is in your highest and best good and in the flow of our time together today. And then I invite you, whenever you're ready, to come back to our Zoom space together. And I so thank each and every one of you for being here. I felt your energy. I felt your openness. So there's our space.
I love that, that just taking time, 5 minutes or less, to just come back in from, like you said, go, go, go. And I see a lot of heads nodding here. So thank you, Vasi, for that. We'll just take a couple of minutes to introduce ourselves. Vasi, do you want to start?
Sure. Yeah. I'm here today because ever since I can remember, I've always wanted to bring more love and joy into the world. I don't know, is there anyone else that can relate with that? It's like, yeah, it just so resonated for me. And when I thought about what I wanted to share with all of you this morning, this memory came back. I hadn't thought of it in years. And when I started out in corporate, um, a woman and I decided that we wanted to gather together the women. And this was in the 90s. This was just outside of Silicon Valley. And we just put the word out in a very sort of organic way. And we said, whoever would like to come and be together and have dinner together and chat about some things, come join us. And we thought maybe 6 women would come. We had over 40 women come. And it was incredible. We had little activities, we had tables set up. So you got to sit with a small group of women. And we also did things as a large group. And no one wanted to leave. And I hold that so close to my heart that time because I had no idea that what I wanted and what fed me was what would feed other women. And so that became a series, even though I was in a corporate setting, of convening women's circles and going to gatherings and being in community with women and being fed by that. And not long after that, I started my own coaching and consulting business. That was like 23 years ago. It has had many iterations. And that theme ran through it. It was like, how can I be in that flow? How can I share that with others so that I could help them connect deeply to themselves and at the same time be connected to each other? And so over the years, that has morphed. And what I bring to this time today is an opening of about 2 years ago to my intuitive and energetic abilities. And so my work has drastically changed in ways that feel absolutely right and bring me into greater flow. That's what I'm all about, is helping women go from force to flow. So there was a time that I realized I was my worst boss when I had my business. And it wasn't too long ago because I realized that I had was imposing a lot of my own self-beliefs and judgments on myself. And so I've been in this journey to self-love. And I have with me today, I'll just share with you briefly. This is a powerful energetic frequency booster. It's a self-love booster. It was just released a few months ago. And I use that in groups and in my sessions to help people connect to that love. So for me, feminine power is love in whatever way we define that to be. And that's what I feel important to share about me today.
Beautiful. Uh, you brought up so many things that are so parallel in my life too. In the 90s, I started um, gathering women and doing, it was based on the book, Terry Cole Whitaker's book, Love and Power in a World Without Limits. It was the first book I ever read when she referred to females as the main character, like it's usually he, but it was always she when she gets a job and she does this in the world. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And then she had a corresponding course that I went to my Toastmaster group and said, any of you women want to meet and do this with me? I'll facilitate. And they're like, yeah. And I was like in my early 20s, and these women were in their 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s. And they just loved it. And we wound up going from home to home and doing potlucks and gathering, and we did it several times in the late 90s. And I've been coaching since that time myself. Both I got certified as a hypnotherapist in 1998, and that's when I started my hypno coaching practice. And I was also at the same time in corporate America, from in the main part of the 90s, doing management with customer service. And so I got opportunities after I left corporate America to do marketing consulting and coaching. So I was doing hypno coaching on the side and marketing consulting. And then the marketing consulting took over. But I had this huge transformation after I was engaged I was with a man for 7 years. We got engaged in 1997. And then one day he came home and said, I love you, but I'm not in love with you and I can't marry you. And it was a horrible day. It actually happened to be the same day that I walked into my job in financial services. And my boss says, we want to move you. we want to basically demote you and send you to software testing. We don't want you to be a manager anymore. And I knew something was off in my life at that point. And I went on a huge soul searching journey, found mentors, um, and eventually over the next 3 years, transformed my entire life. And it was the most significant mentor was one who stood in front of the networking group that I had joined during that time and said, "Hi, I lead gatherings for succulent wild women. We talk about the most powerful form of energy there is, feminine energy." And that was for 30 seconds. And I was like, what? I need to know. And out of that mentorship, because I beelined for her after the meeting to say, we need to have lunch. I don't know what you just said, but I need to know more. And through that time, Basti, and I wanted to speak directly to what you said. It came to me exactly what you said when you had all of us raise our hands. Joy was my purpose. Joy to create and be an influence in the world for more joy. Because wouldn't this world be a whole lot different if there was more joy? Everybody was experiencing it. That's why I feel so strongly about it. And I can go on and on about it, but I won't. But during that time, I did develop what you see here is the feminine power cards. And, so this has been a passion of mine that I've always had a part of my life in, but most people who meet me networking don't know me for this. They know me for my marketing, consulting, and coaching. But other people have met me in little silos that do know my life coaching and hypnosis work as well. And now my feminine power work and bringing it out more. I'm coming out of the feminine closet and saying, I am a feminine power catalyst and I'm here to support and create opportunities for women leaders to flow and make it change this world. We are the ones who are going to change the world. And I keep saying I don't know how, but we're allowing it to happen by setting that intention and talking about our visions and supporting each other in those visions. So today we're going to explore feminine power and do some connecting and sharing. We're also going to share with you what we've cooked up, our Spalicious retreat in San Diego. That's in February 9th and 10th. It also comes with a 7-week course called, well, I call it Play Shop, Ignite Your Feminine Soul Play Shop. So before we get into learning, we're going to have each of you introduce each other. I picked a feminine power card for today. And Vasi and I were talking about it earlier. And it is explore. What does it say? I'm sorry.
Know,
Know,
explore.
explore, and wonder about your own magnificence. Know, explore, and wonder about your own magnificence. So the feminine power cards have a feminine power principle on one side, and then a practice on the other side. And the practice could be either a affirmation, something to do, or something to contemplate. And this just has a simple affirmation. I am a beautiful being of love and light. Why don't you all take a moment to say that to yourself? I am a beautiful being of love and light. Yay. So, is there something you want to say about that, Vasi?
I just invite everyone just to take a moment and just to allow that in, to integrate that energy, and that you are magnificent. Sometimes we focus on, right, all the ways in which we're not, or all the ways we haven't been. And so in this moment, it's all perfect. Just the fullness and the wholeness of our magnificence. Yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
Thank
Actually, that's a lot. Energetically, I can feel that. Yeah.
you. Hopefully, you took that in, each of you. And we wanted to have each of you introduce yourself. So, do you want to set that up, Vasi?
Sure. So, did you want to share that slide, Laura, with the
Sure.
questions, if it's convenient?
Yeah, it's
So, we're so excited for each one of you to share with you who you are, and so we're going to invite you to, of course, share your name. And what's your definition of feminine power? So Laura and I have each shared ours. What's your definition? Everyone has their own, so we'd love to hear how you define it. And what's your vision for this year? And, what are you excited about creating this year? And we're going to have 2 minutes per person, 1 to 2 minutes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a little timer. It should be in the corner here. Let me put it up. Um, I think we have to go out of share screen mode for me to put it up, Laura. Um,
So
but
that
anyhow, I will
I,
let each of you know if you're like have 15 seconds left. So you're a minute and 45. I'll do my little chime. Can everyone hear that?
oh yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, good. Hopefully not too loud. And that'll just let you know to wrap up in 15 minutes. Okay, great.
15
And
seconds.
15 seconds. Oh my gosh, did I say minutes? Wouldn't that be juicy if you were able to be together
Yeah,
15 minutes? Yeah.
we want to honor
Okay.
your time, so yeah.
Yes. So your name, and then how you define feminine power. And then the third thing is your vision for the year. So who would like to start?
Lucy,
Lucia,
and then
go
Jackie.
for it.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Lucia Murphy, also known as Dr. Murph. I am a leadership, I design leadership is what I do. And I ran into Laura and Vasi. I've been around this block a couple of times. I will tell you that my definition of femininity and feminine power has changed dramatically. And that's thanks to the wisdom that these two incredible people have shared with me. I would say, and this is, I'm going to just use the words that came to mind, and we can talk about whether they're positive or negative, male or female, but it's the soft inside. It's the soft, vulnerable inside that I had been hiding forever because I came from corporate. And so I'm finding that as I get more comfortable in that space, on my feet, I didn't disintegrate. I didn't disappear when I allowed myself to be vulnerable and explore that soft inside. And in fact, I became much more creative. And that is my goal. That's my vision. I want to. Um, I had said before, generative was a year ago. Generative, I had all the definitions were all forced, and this is instead a year of generating, but through invitation. So, Lucia Murphy, I'm in North Carolina. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Lucia. Yes, I love that. The soft, vulnerable inside. Mm, nice. And then I think Jackie is next.
Yeah, I can go. I'm Jackie Sebastiani. I'm on the Central Oregon coast. That wasn't one of the number of things to share, but um, it's interesting when I got all nervous about what's my definition, and I really landed more in how do I feel when I know I'm deeply grounded in my feminine, and that's been a journey. I could really appreciate what Lucia said about coming out of corporate and not being really connected to that. And it's taken a number of years to really feel that level of engagement. Um, and so for me, when I'm really in my feminine power, I know that I'm deeply grounded and I'm aligned with divine guidance. And I feel so powerful because I'm in what I would think of as my natural flow of my gifts really coming forward. And and holding that place, and not being taken out of what I describe as like being pulled out of my center, but really staying in uh, that really embodied place, really for me defines my feminine power. And my vision for this year is still unfolding. I don't really acknowledge the new year until kind of more of the lunar new year comes, and it really is all about being more having more meaningful visibility, and that it's including with more art shows with my painting and the sharing of that. And then it also includes sharing my gifts from a business perspective. I'm an intuitive life coach. And so it's really bringing that to my soul clients.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jackie, for what you shared and the energy shared with it. Yeah. And who would like to introduce themselves next?
I can go.
Great.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mahtab Beheshti. I'm here in San Diego. And I guess my definition of feminine power is leading with passion and love. There's this whole, I'm in corporate right now. I mean, I think a lot of you guys are, previous corporate maybe, but I'm actually creating a corporation. So that's even one level higher. And, I just find that it's really important to bring that feminine power into my workplace, and lead with passion and love during hard times, and which there are many, many, many hard times. So, and then my vision for this year is finding new things that bring me joy. And the reason for that is that I have a senior in high school that's going to college. So we're going to be empty nesters this year. So I'm going to have to find new things, I mean, in one way, it's good because the responsibility kind of like we're done with kids. So that's good. But then finding other ways to find joy. So, because I do find a lot of joy in time spent with my kids. So, that's
Thank
me.
you, Mahtab.
Thank you.
And let's see, Josette, looks like you unmuted. You ready to introduce?
Yes, I want to apologize for coming in so late. My computer was moving really slow. So I'm Josette Diaz. I'm in Southern California in San Diego, and I am a self-awareness coach for women in midlife. And feminine power, what it means to me. God, I was listening to all of you speak, and you had such great definitions. And I feel all of those things. And I feel like the undercurrent of feminine power has so much to do with the integrity of being in your feminine and using your masculine energy with integrity coinciding. So, because both in my mind feeds the other, and um and allowing that feminine to rise to a point where you really can harness your own empowerment and move mountains with it if you choose to. So I feel like that's what it means to me. My vision for this year, I mean, well, I've tried to get away from using a word because I feel like it kind of confines me a little bit. Yet I was thinking, okay, you get asked, what's your word? So my word is really deliberate. And everything I do, I just want it to be deliberate this year, whether it's in my personal life or my professional life. And I have some very big goals for this year. I'd like to fill my Seasons of the Soul system with 25 women by the end of the year. And I want to really get out there. And thank you.
Oh, go ahead. You can just wrap up. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I was done.
And go ahead.
And I want to do a lot of speaking. That's all I was going to say, and end it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Josette. Yeah, deliberate. Okay, let's see who's left. Is that Billy? Yeah.
Funny, I sort of heard my name, but I thought it was somebody else. Oh, go. I've been taking notes. This is a wise and wonderful, brilliant collection of women. I love it. So for me, my desk is moving. The feminine energy is it really is for me leading with love, and it requires a bit of fearlessness, just courage and fearlessness to be authentic and true to myself, and so I've been doing things to put myself more out there, and interesting how that works. It's just it's like not a proving ground, but it's like, okay, then let's apply this. Let's not just sit back and speak about it. Let's get involved with people and places and practice. So I've been for many years involved in the coaching world. Some people thought I invented it. Since in 1996, I was originally certified as a coach. Those are the days when they thought you meant basketball. So I love that all of you are talking coaching, but we kind of go, I get that. So what I know is my dharma is to teach. And so the grace, by the grace of spirit, I was able to start teaching coaching. I always thought I'd be a high school teacher. That didn't work out. So now I teach coaching skills. And so we're expanding that. That's one of the ways that I'm out there more and more. And I know that as I gather together trainers who work with me, it's all about leading with authenticity. And the other way I've put myself out there is I just wrote a book. And the book is subtitled Reflections on Being a Coach. And then the title is Awareness is Enough. So now I've written it, and now what? So I'm finding out what it is to be proud of that. Is what it comes down to, and to support others with that work.
Right. Oh, thank you. So beautiful. Each one of you, it just was so inspiring. Like Billy was saying, taking notes. I was here taking notes. And what's so wonderful when we all share our definitions is it gives us permission to explore that even more,
And we
right?
have
To
one
broaden
more.
our definitions. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Linda and
Yes.
Linda. Yes.
I have no voice, so maybe that's why. I apologize. I'm just recovering
Okay.
from laryngitis. So, um, yeah, I should know better than to go last when I'm in an amazing group of women such as this. I think I would learn. But
You're one of
and-
those amazing women.
thank you. Um, yeah, I've just gathered so much from everyone's definition of what is feminine power. Um, I've kind of been doing a lot of like growth the last few years and trying to define exactly what it means to me. And I think for me, it means not having to be louder than everybody else to be heard and being seen, and just finding that internal power within yourself and believing in it. Um, and, just finding like-minded people to support that, and just finding that power within. My goal, sorry, my eyes are running too. I'm not crying. I'm just not in a healthy state right now. I apologize. Um, and I think my vision for this next year is to continue my path. I think I'm the only person here that really hasn't had a part in the corporate world. I'm a pediatric nurse, ICU. Has always been my background. I still work in that area, but I've been definitely developing my more spiritual side, training in Reiki, just kind of trying to incorporate that all in the medical model and seeing what path um, life has for me, and further developing my intuition and following it for the betterment to bring joy to this world in times that need a little bit more joy sometimes. So that's where I stand.
I love how aligned we all are, you know. And Linda, it's perfect you went when you went because you got to soak in all of that that you resonated with. And I love going last because of that.
Pros and cons.
Right. Mhm. Exactly. So thank you for sharing. Oh, so powerful. It's already just a rich time. We want you to be able to get to know each other more distinctly now that you've had an initial invitation. Vasi, do we want to go in those rooms too? And do we want 2 or 3 people in rooms?
Let's see. We've got 6 people, not including us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do threes. 2 groups of 3. How's that?
Sure. And so here's what we're going to do in those rooms. I'm going to put it on the screen and then I will put it in the chat before we go. But we're going to talk about what are your projects? What you take this vision and or add to it. What are your projects that are you're working on that has to do with your vision? And feel free to recap your vision in more detail. And discuss, like, women, we're in a silo a lot of times. We're doing it on our own. But what if you had more synergy? What synergy would support you with your projects, with your vision, with where you want to take yourself? And it could be a different vision if you want to do a more applicable vision uh, to what you just shared. So we want you to get to know each other and know what support. And you're not necessarily asking that other person for support, but you're just kind of making a plan for your support in a way. Does that make sense? And Bossy, do you want to add to that at all?
Nope, I think that's set up great. Yeah.
Okay.
I think of it as a wish list. Like when Laura said a plan, it's like, what would be a wish list for you in terms of the support for you and your project?
Yeah, exactly. And this is just a way for you guys to get to know each other. I know you're all so powerful. So I'm putting in the chat what you see on the screen, and I want to take off.
And Vasi and Laura, do you have a time frame in mind for this?
Yes. Vasi, we're going to do how much each person?
We're going to do, let's do 4 minutes per person. So we'll give them a little notice when it's time to switch each person, Laura. Yeah, we'll broadcast into your room when it's time to switch to the next person. So 4 minutes each person.
Okay, so there's going to be 3 people in each breakout room, and I'm going to open the rooms now and select your places, please. And as you go in, Bossy, you want to set the timer so we
Yes.
know to do a broadcast in there.
Okay.
Cool. Now I'm going to pause the. Welcome back. So good to have you here. And everyone will be back in just a second here. All right, Bossy.
Nice. One thing, first of all, we can hardly wait to hear a few shares from your groups. And the other thing I want to mention is we forgot at the beginning to mention that we are going to 1:15 today. So, or wherever you are, about 18 more minutes. Is there anyone that has to leave at the top of the hour?
We did already lose Matab.
Yeah,
I noticed Matab had to go. Yeah. Okay.
I have to do one quick thing. I'll be right back though.
Okay, great. So let's hear from the group. Let's see, I can't remember the groupings, but one of the groups, who would like to share a little bit about what insights or ahas you had?
I'd like to wait for Jackie to come back because she's the only other member of my group.
Oh, okay. Then we'll go to Josette and Linda then. And is that right?
Lucia.
Lucia, Josette and Lucia. So which one of you would like to share something about your group?
I'll share. I bounced off some ideas with titles with the ladies, and they were so incredibly helpful.
Great.
Because I think that when you do work on your own, you think, oh, this is great. It feels good. I love it. And then other people see it so differently. And so it's so helpful to get that kind of input from other women that, are in your crowd, yet, will give you a new perspective. And it was really, really helpful.
Awesome. So you actively got support. You didn't just have your wish list, but you actively received something.
Yeah.
Yay, Josette. Yeah. Anyone else from the group want to say anything that they took away or any aha that they had? How it felt?
Lucia, you unmuted.
Yeah, it really felt awesome. I was explaining how I think this is my third time around, and it took at least two to sort of accept like the changes. The first time I didn't even understand what was going on. The second time I had a vision for what could happen and to start moving in that direction. So I was sharing that I thought this whole process has been fabulous and it's changed everything for me from hardcore corporate. I'm still, when Josette was sharing her perspective, I still came up with the corporate thing. That's probably always going to be my point of view. But I just don't feel as hard around the edges as I used to be corporately. So sharing that journey was fun.
Wonderful. And it really is a weaving, isn't it? It's not like either or, there's like a weaving that happens. Yeah.
The polarity.
The polarity, right. Yeah, great. And Linda, anything you'd like to share?
Sure. I guess I have when Donna told me about this, I almost didn't sign up because I felt like a little bit of imposter syndrome because I'm not the corporate world. I'm not self-employed, but that's why I wanted to come to the open house and see the energy because I truly believe in things come your way for a reason. And there was a reason that Donna sent this invitation to me. So the ladies made me definitely feel very welcome and worthy of being here. And so I just really appreciated that and their support with that.
Beautiful. So magical when women come together, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hearts. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Well, imposter syndrome came up at our last one we did in December as well. Yeah. We don't often talk about it, but it's there. It's like in the background for a lot of women. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Linda, for your vulnerability. And how about our other group here, Billy and Jackie? What would you like to share?
I really like to be able to connect and hear where women are and the things that are just up for them. And it's like in that moment of where they are, that something so interesting and amazing just comes up. There's just an opening to share there. It's just really, I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
And Jackie, just to pick up on that, the phrase that just came in, I hope this isn't offensive, but it's like pregnant with possibilities.
Yeah.
Because we were hearing, new things that could happen. And Jackie was speaking, if I may say, about her art. I mean, good heavens, I love that the breadth of expression. And so that was fun. And just the vulnerability was lovely. Yeah. So, and Jackie and I know each other, and now we're if I can get her name right, is it Matab?
Matab.
Matab. She and I are already meeting for coffee.
There you go. Lovely.
But I knew Billy. I'd met her. I said it has to be 20 years ago in San Diego.
Wow.
And when I got on just earlier, when I came in, I was like, oh my gosh. And I mean, of course I just remembered Billy, I especially remembered the beautiful program she had. And I was just saying she was out on the cutting edge of all of this, doing this long before it was mainstream.
Well, we know that being a pioneer, what that indicates is that you're older.
Well, but you have to also have to be
we're going wiser.
You have to be a visionary though, too. You have to have the vision to do that. And you've had the, and you still do, you're still doing it. And anyway, so it was just really fun.
Yeah, very fun to see you.
I am so excited by what you've all shared. And it's all about going from silos to synergy and bringing back those connections that are so powerful in that pregnant with possibilities. I love that. I like to call it that we are creating a solar system. We're in our little orbits in our lives. People come and go. We have certain level of support. Some of us have larger and smaller. But what happens when we bring each other into our orbits and we share visions and we share time and we just do exactly what you said, Jackie? It's like hear where they're at, right? Hearing where people are at just adds energy and fuel. And Linda, you just said by showing up, you got just so much more validation and value. And now all of us are like fueling your vision. We know you're going to bring Reiki into the healthcare system, and we know you're going to be this light of joy in for people who are on their healing journey and not getting it. They're just getting diagnosed and treatment. They need healing, which is your energy. And we're adding energy to that to support you. You're not an imposter. You're like the real deal here. So, and same thing for each of you. And Josette, you got your vision expanded because people gave you input, and Lucia, you keep just growing and growing and bringing that light into corporate, and Jackie and Billy, being your magic in the world. So that's what my vision is to have a solar system of women that have this mushrooming effect, and we're bringing more people into our solar system, and we're shifting the world. And I love I think Josette, did you say moving mountains? That with our energy, I've used that exact phrase. So I wanted to share a little bit about the Spalicious retreat we have coming up, because this is an opportunity to bring our solar system together. We're already in it. I will tell you, by showing up here today, you're in that solar system, like I've said, and we call it the Spalicious retreat. That came to me when I had a Spalicious experience. And I was like, this is just what we need to do for ourselves as women, is we need to step out of our, masculine methods and bring in some feminine so we can balance. And Josette, like you said, also, my feeling is that if we steep in our feminine wisdom, and when then we allow our masculine to follow suit, like to follow that wisdom, it's a beautiful dance, right? Not when we try to masculine the whole thing, but if we generate and nurture and protect our visions and come up with the decisions from our feminine, and then the masculine can initiate. I just think that is just a beautiful thing. So you're invited to join us for this Spalicious weekend, where our intention is to bring forth more joy, connect with your soul, cultivate deeper connections with other women leaders. We want to foster your your passions. And if you're parents, well, that's awesome. And so and basically tap into that creative essence that you are. And so these are just pictures from our couple past recent retreats. We will do movement. We will do a cooking class. We have an hour-long sound healing session, which is going to be so magical. And what I like to call wisdom sharing circles, where we do similar things like we did today, where we're just being with women. And, there is something magical. You will learn about the wisdom that each other has when we come together to just share. Like Linda, you said something about Reiki, and I did Reiki years ago, but there may be some new things that I can glean from you about Reiki, or consider bringing it back into my choice of healing modalities that I receive, right? So you never know what's going to come out of a resource, an idea, an inspiration. And we're going to do it in the feminine, not like, okay, let's make this plan today. It's like, it's going to, what do you want? What's bubbling up? And you get to create that part of the retreat. And then, of course, we have, we're going to do a yoga session. We'll do more guided meditations. Everybody will get gifts like a deck of feminine power cards. And this Enlighten Me box, I wanted, Vasi, you could talk about it. I don't know if you have it there to show.
Sure. Yep, I have it right here.
And
So
share.
the Enlighten Me box, and it's a frequency generator, and it helps connect you to your higher self more easily. And it also clears limiting beliefs. And I use them. And we'll be using it for like before this soul collage to open up to your creativity, to increase whatever it is your intentions are. It'll boost your energy for the retreat. So I'll be doing that
I think
in the
that's it.
background and some ways in the foreground.
Yeah, and you can ask more questions about that if you want to learn, but I want to get through this and then, oh, so
Can I
you
just say
mentioned,
one thing, Laura?
yeah.
That last bullet, the play shop,
Oh yeah,
I wanted to share with everyone. I went through the play shop for my first time, and I know, let's see, Lucia, you also were in it. And it's incredible. Laura has put together this 7-week virtual class, and it's so beautiful after the retreat because a couple of weeks after that, we go into it and you get to be with the same people, and it goes deeper into feminine energy and embodying and integrating it. And I really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's a big, big bonus to have.
Lucy, you're shaking your head. Did you want to say something?
Ditto.
I should say you're nodding your head.
Yeah, yes, not shaking,
Well,
unless it was rattling.
what was
I don't.
so impactful for you about that?
Um, I had mentioned I resisted the whole idea. I didn't understand why we needed to even talk about this. And of course, I'm feminine. It's in my DNA. It's and it's like no, it's not the kind of feminine that we're talking about.
Hmm.
And like I said, the first time I did this, I kind of didn't get it. And then as we worked together and explored this further, it was sort of like, okay, now I get it.
Mhm.
So I'm still working on it. I'm a work in
We
progress
all
by a
are.
long shot.
That's the point.
Mm.
Yeah.
But this is a good place, a safe place to learn. And if you're like me, it's going to take me a few more iterations. I'm
So
sure before
I'm so
I
glad you
get
said
it.
that. Yeah, it's a practice. It's kind of like yoga, right? It's
Right.
not a course like you have to learn and you're done. We're all evolving in our feminine, and that's why I put this together for women leaders to evolve together. So the 7 week is experiential, but you contribute to it also with what your insights are, with what we have time for discussion. I have a topic, and then we do experiential processes, so they're different every time. The other thing I didn't mention was the soul collage that we do. It's an intuitive collaging process. It's very profound. It's deep. It is not vision boards. Okay, I'll just give you that. It's about your soul. It's about intuition, and it's about accessing more of your authentic wisdom. Because what do they say about images are worth 1,000 words? So you can see things that you couldn't see before when you put images together. It's there, but not until you put those images together would you get that insight. So we do soul collage creations, and then we do readings, and then you have your cards to take with you. So it's a cool process.
I would
Yeah.
like to also say the feminine power cards are amazing. That's my 2 cents about that.
Thank you. Those cards came about when I was going through my transformation from not even thinking I was feminine at all to when my mentor stood up in the front of the room, from that time till when I took her course 7 times and begged her then to teach me how to teach it. And that's what's coming out, my version of that, with her permission. So, and then the cards were the nuggets of wisdom that came along the way that really supported me. And now I added the practices, and now I'm writing the book that goes along with it too. So my vision this year is to finish the book. Just the last piece here is, like, you might want to know the details of where, when, and how much. We are going to do a Zoom gathering for the women who are coming together to meet and greet, so that when we come in person in San Diego, we know each other. And it's not like this awkward thing we've already kind of met. Then we'll do a cooking class on Friday and some processes with we'll work with, wisdom circle and a feminine power card thing. And then Saturday is when we're going to do all the other stuff. So meals are included, and you can see more at igniteyourfeminine.com. Through the 25th, the price is $397. I think that's pretty reasonable for a retreat. And I know most of my colleagues are charging 3,000 and above for their retreats. So I just couldn't do that. We are keeping it very cost effective, but yet, and we're not providing accommodations. Most people will be going home at night to their home, or if you have other accommodations, if you're going to fly in or you'll want to make those arrangements, we can certainly help you. And you're welcome to invite other women friends who you think would enjoy being in this space. We have a few spots that we can designate for that. So if you want to join us, you want to learn more, go to igniteyourfeminine.com. Also, if you want to talk to us individually, Vasi, why don't we put our calendars in the chat? You can certainly chat with us for 15, we can set up a quick 15-minute chat with you to do so. So my calendar is here in the chat. And so you're welcome to go to Ignite, and I can put the URL to igniteyourfeminine.com for signing up. We would love to play with you in the feminine. So please join us. And I'm trying to find the button now to stop the sharing, but it kind of disappeared on me. Oh, there it is. So we have a question, and we would love to take your questions. So we have space, what, 12 people?
Yes, 12.
And we're half full, actually. So we'd love to have another 6. So we'd love to have you join us. Any other questions? Feel free to come off. Or what are you taking away from today? Other than
I myself feel very filled with joy about today, just meeting everyone. And I definitely want to sign up for that weekend. I happen to be open.
Yay.
So I guess like I shared before, it was the whole, is this for me? I'm not a corporate woman leader, so.
You're a leader, and you're in your way, and you say not in corporate, but you're in a healthcare system, right?
True.
But
I'm not management.
That's fine. Yes. Yeah.
I like to say that you're a leader of your vision, right? And a leader of your life.
That.
Yeah. So try that on, because that's who you are. Each of us is.
Yeah. And I agree. I guess I just wasn't sure what direction you ladies were taking. So
not corporate. But if you're in corporate, we will support you.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you both. Thank you all. My takeaway is that it's just a joy to be in the presence of heart-centered women. Thank you.
Yeah. And we will be doing more open houses, and you're more than welcome to come back and connect with the women, because you are now in our solar system, whether you join us for the retreat or not. Yeah.
Good. I really like to, I just want to say that I love the impact that you both bring. I've come to your open house before, and each time that I've been here, it's left me with something to contemplate and to think about. And I find just having the conversation around femininity helps you open up and expand that definition for yourself. And so it's always really powerful to come. And thank you so much for.
Thank you. We'll see you soon, I hope, in another event.
I'm gonna dash off. Thanks, everyone. Great to meet you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming twice, Josette.